I decided to sit outside, so let's see how that works. But nonetheless, last week, I gave you the whole context download, the accordion, the window of tolerance, the science, the why. And I know some of you, because I would do this too, were probably like, cool, 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 cool. Really fascinating. Wow, the science. Now, what do I do with this information? And solid pregunta, really. We will get into the how today. So this session, for lack of a better term, is the practical one. We're going to go through 10 actual regulation tools, not just concepts, not things to think about. We are going to do the doing in the body when you're already activated, already spiraling, already checked out, already lying on the floor like a pile of laundry waiting to be folded. Please, anyone else, fold me. Also, again, we're outside, so there's going to be outside noises, if that wasn't obvious. So we're going to do all those together. If you're somewhere that you can move a little, even better. If you're driving or listening to this, all good. See which one or two of these stick and do them later. Because I know that we're all wired differently, I'm going to tell you what each tool is targeting, when it may work best, and how to know if it's actually landing for you. Because the goal here is not for you to collect 10 techniques and never friggin' use. You feel me? Like, the goal is for you to leave here with 2 or 3 that can become yours and can really stick. All right, that's the idea. So, by the way, if we haven't done this before, I'm Vicky. I tend to coach late diagnosed women with ADHD through that messy middle of transformation. If you're brand new here, I suggest going back a touch. Will I have put the link above? Let's see. But it's definitely the first link in the description, the first video in this order, because this is in an order. All right, Lego. So we're going to get started with number 1. Victoria's going to have a sip of coffee because it's still morning. Not that it would matter. Okay. Just going to say one thing before we get to the list, because again, context matters. The tools that I'm going to share are not cures. They are not magic. They are inputs, signals that you'll be sending to your nervous system, which will deliver the message. We are okay. We are safe. We can come back now. That's the messaging we are trying to deliver. You are essentially offering your accordion or window of tolerance a little more room, which again is the whole idea of this chestnut. Some of these will land instantly for you. Some will not. Some will feel silly. Do them anyway, at least once before you make a decision. Notice always where your resistance is. It may request a lean in, okay? Your nervous system really doesn't care whether you look cool or not. So keeping that in mind. I've grouped these loosely into what state they're best for, but honestly, after I went through my script of these, a lot of them can be used for both hypo and hyper arousals, okay? Again, the flooded or activated too fast side versus this more shut down, frozen, checked out, freeze state. Most are great for both. I'll flag if it's any different, okay? If and when it matters. Sun's in my eyes. That's okay. Hopefully the lighting is giving. So we'll move. Tool 1 is bilateral stimulation. The best one for this is walking, okay? Tapping. Let me not tap the mic. Cross body tapping or cross body movement. Bilateral stimulation means alternating activation on both sides of the body. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Walking is the most natural form. It's really, really, really excellent. It's pretty much bar none one of the most excellent things that you can do. You can also do cross-body taps, or even just tapping your thighs. You know, if you do this under the table already, your body's been regulating itself. Bilateral stimulation regulates both hemisphere, or not regulates, engages both hemispheres of the brain simultaneously. This interrupts the loop that your nervous system can get stuck in when it's activated. It's the same mechanism that's used in EMDR therapy, just in a more everyday, non-clinical form, okay? Best for both states, hypo and hyper, especially hyper arousal. Spiraling thoughts, rumination, skin that feels too tight, starting to sweat, cold sweat. Okay, those are when you may recognize, oop, this might be good for right now. So just do it with me. I will do cross-body tap. That's it. Even just 60 seconds of this when you're on or within a spiral can interrupt the pattern. That's what we want. We want interruption in the pattern so that there's space. The next time that you get a text that reads off, you don't have to just sit with it. You could get up and walk it out. Okay, that's what I do. Pay attention to whether your thoughts slow down, even micro. I wanted to say infinitesimally, but I always say that incorrectly when I say it out loud. Notice if your jaw unclenches, if your breathing shifts without you forcing it, okay? That's what you want to take a look for. Tool 2 is a type of breathing called 4-7-8. We would be inhaling for a count of 4 seconds, holding for a count of 7, and exhaling for a count of 8. The extended exhale is the key, governor. The longer exhale activates parasympathetic part of your nervous system. That is your rest and digest mode. We can activate that directly in this way. You cannot fake a slow exhale when you're in full fight or flight, okay? So it needs to be real, which means a little practice goes a long way. The act of physically doing it overrides the signal. You're actually telling your vagus nerve, threat is over, time for recovery, boo. We got this, okay? This one is best for when you're in hyper, spiraling, panic, pre-event anxiety, that 3 a.m. abrupt wake up loop, and then you can't get back to sleep. This one's a good one. So here's how to do it. Breathing together, allow yourself to sit up a little straighter, or if you're laying, lay flat. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for your own count of 8. If that feels like too much, the whole point is that exhale needs to be longer than the previous 2 if you adjust it. Maybe you're inhaling for 3 and holding for 5, something like that. You might notice a natural sigh or your shoulders dropping. Again, the jaw unclenching. These are signposts that the practice is doing its thing, okay? The thought that was consuming you may thankfully get a little quieter. That's the aim, okay? Third tool is grounding through sensation, or I like to do a body scan with some tapping. So this one is physically orienting your attention into your body right now through sensation. Noticing temperature, pressure, texture. Just noticing, that's the measurement. Dissociation and shutdown can pull us out of our bodies. Sensation is the antidote, can pull us back in. We cannot be both fully dissociated and fully present in physical sensation simultaneously. But we can bring one in to slow the other one down. This is clearly great for hypoarousal. freeze, fawn, dissociation, brain fog, checked out, those kind of states this one's really good for, all right? So doing it with me might be like this. Close or lid your eyes, whatever feels more comfortable. Imagine a ball of light seated at your toenails. Allow it to begin to slowly move up your body. And as it does, notice where your body feels anything without judgment. You might notice a feeling of tension in your calf muscles. Release that. Pressure on your thighs. Nothingness. Heft. Lightness. Maybe a color or a texture makes itself known. Anything. We move slowly up the body, toes, shins, calves, knees, thighs, all the way up to the crown of the head. What do you notice is the question of the hour. Not what you should feel, what you do actually feel in the right now of right now. There is no other time than right now. The aim with this one is presence. You might notice something you weren't aware of, actually, because your mind was everywhere else instead of right here. What we're gathering is information. These are not problems to be solved. Getting into the present allows the worries of the future or anxieties of the past to dissipate, maybe even fall away. What a treat. Okay, that was body scan with tapping if you wanted to tap. I didn't add the tap. Fourth tool, ocular pointing or peripheral vision. Okay, so what we do is fix the gaze on one point in front of you. And without moving your eyes, see if you can expand your awareness to include what's in your peripheral field. Left, right, top, bottom. Let your eyes soften rather than focus hard, right? Tunnel vision is a feature of the threat response. Our nervous systems literally narrow our vision fields when they're activated. So by deliberately expanding our vision to the periphery, that signals safety. Our ocular nerve is directly connected to our vagus nerve. So it's a direct off switch for the threat response. And honestly, this is one of the fastest ones on the list. But we don't care about speed. This practice is delicious for both states, hyper and hypo, especially useful in social situations, meetings, conflict, anywhere that you can visibly do something physical, okay? Before you're about to get on stage, for example. So here's how you would do it. Look kind of just above me if you can, and if you are not driving or doing something otherwise dangerous. Go really soft in your vision, almost blur it. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. You'll let your face relax. You'll expand your awareness of what's at the upper line of your non-focused sight. And then slowly you'll move to what's below. You'll then move left. You'll then move right. At the end, you'll close your eyes for an extra luxurious few seconds. And as you come back, know that this is one that's like almost invisible to do when you're in public, which makes it incredibly useful because no one has any idea what you're doing. You might notice your face relaxing. Your breath has shifted. Things may feel slightly less urgent. Those are some of your signposts, but figure out what yours are for yourself. Let me check how. We're already at 15 minutes. Good Lord. Fifth tool, palms over eyes. For this one, you'll want to take glasses off. You'll warm up your hands firstly, and then you'll place your warmed palms over your closed eyes. So let me just adjust this for a moment. No pressure on the eyeballs themselves, just allowing more darkness and warmth and the weight of your hands on your eyes. That's the idea. So not only does cutting off visual input give your nervous system an immediate break, because we're overstimulated by all that we can see from processing. But again, our ocular nerves are directly connected to our vagus nerve. So this is a really great way to halt some of that, right? The warming sensation can activate a soothing response, similar to a weighted blanket or a hot water bladder on the belly, right? These are some of the same types of feelings. So the darkness is actually a safety mode signal. We're good. Woo! A lot of us live in a state of chronic visual overstimulation and totally don't even realize it. If you live in clutter, okay. So unless you're like me and nearly all light is completely overstimulating, I don't know. But this one's perfect for overwhelm, overstimulation, pretty much all the overs, right? The end of a long day, the end of a long day at a computer screen. This one's really good for that. Also, every 20 or 30 minutes when you're on a computer screen. So here's a round of it. We're warming those palms. Go ahead and do it as long as you're not driving. Breathe in, breathe out. Begin to lower, close those eyes. On that next inhale, take those palms right over those closed eyelids. Push in an absolute touch. Oh my God, breathe in. Nice. Remove those when you can. Feel free to stay there for a few extra seconds, more than you normally would. Taking any extra time you need in opening your eyes back up. It may be bright out there, even if you're inside. Just that. That's it. That's all that is. You could do this at your desk, in the car. Obviously, you could do this anywhere. It's so good. Oh, I have a main highway over there I can see. You can always go to the bathroom, do a quick 90 seconds for yourself or what have you. Or you could do this with your kids to model self-regulation alongside them, maybe before bed or something. Really lovely practice. So often an immediate sense of relief can be sensed. Sometimes you'll even notice you were holding your breath. That's when I notice a lot. Letting that breath go, letting everything else go. That's the idea. Sixth tool, shaking, right? Not you can hear that. That's funny. This one is exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what it sounds like. I don't have to do too much talking on this one, but you would shake your hands, your arms, your entire body, your legs. Shake it out. If it feels easier, put a song on so that you can shake. Trembling is actually a natural nervous system discharge mechanism. Most of us suppress it our entire lives because shaking in public seems weird, unless we're dancing. Maybe the visual of that gazelle, which outran its predator, I think it was a lion, and then having a great shake is coming to mind. It's a YouTube video. You can certainly find it. It's real life. So many examples of this in nature. And we're the only animals that don't do it naturally anymore. We have repressed ourselves out of it. So animals shake after a threat to discharge the activation. We've been socialized out of that behavior. We get to bring it back in. It is literally the tool your nervous system already knows how to do and use, which all of them are. They are innate within us. But now we're giving ourselves permission to utilize it at this time. So you know it's hot. The sun is beaming. I'll tell you that. This particular shaking tool is solid for hyperarousal, after conflict, after adrenaline has been pumped, before a big event, when you feel like you need to crawl out of your skin. That's good. So doing it together, let me, so you have to hear it. Eggs. The more silly and awkward you feel, the better. That'll pass with practice, I promise. Okay, the shaking's great. Be ridiculous, it's totally fine. If you feel a wave of emotion come up while shaking, Not a problem. Totally good. That's the point. Let it move through. That's what's supposed to come up. It's right there on the edge, right? You'll know that shaking is landing for you because you might laugh, you might cry a little or tear up. Your body might feel lighter, less constricted afterwards. Those are some really great signposts that this is working. 7. Can she count? That's the question. Humming, singing, chanting, any vocalization creates vibration in your chest and throat. That's what I'm talking about here. That's the aim and goal. Humming a single tone, chanting, singing along to a song you know by heart. These are beautiful ways to deactivate. Vagus nerve, once again, runs through the vocal cords. So vibration in the throat directly stimulates it, which is our main parasympathetic pathway. Blessings for that, okay? It's not woo-woo, it's anatomy. Do what you want with it. I'd go as far as to note why certain religious and spiritual practices, where's she going with this, have been using chanting or choral singing in certain environments for millennia, because there's not only power in the collective, of course, but personally you as well. Different hertz frequencies get hit through vocal cords activation. This is another one that's good for both hypo and hyper, especially when you are alone in the car, during a walk, first thing in the morning, when your nervous system is still calibrating, right? Maybe during stretching, allowing some long sighs or horse lips. You know how to hum. Give it a shot for a few seconds. Just hum along to something. Doesn't have to be a song. You could just hum randomly as well. Even 60 seconds of humming in the car on your way somewhere difficult can shift your baseline before you even walk in. It's a really solid and simple one. Simple doesn't mean easy. You might feel warmth in the chest. You might feel tension in your throat releasing. Sometimes a spontaneous sigh or yawn. Both are solid. Those are what you're looking for. All right? Let's move these up because I know this is taking a while. We've got mandible release for the 8th tool. Now this is 8. Opening your mouth wide, letting your jaw drop. Move it side to side. Then massage. Just in front of your ears, right where your jaw hinges. Please be gentle. Things can get a little dicey there. The jaw, one of the primary holding places for tension in the body. TMJ is such a common ailment for many, especially women, as it turns out. Big shocker. Most of us are clenching constantly without realizing it, clenching the jaw, tightening the shoulders, right? By releasing the jaw, we send a signal through the entire head and neck that the threat has passed. Also hits our vagal tone, which comes in through the vocal cords again, vagus nerve. Both states benefit greatly from this tool. I smell like I don't know what that's called. Anyway, it smells like sugar in the air. Those that grind their teeth, this one's great for you as well. So doing it with me, take 30, 45 seconds, moving slowly and with intention. All right. Check in with your jaw. Is it loose, unhinged, spacious? By the time you finish, most likely, yes. You might notice that your whole face softens. Sometimes the eyes water a little. Tension that you didn't know was there may begin to release. Maybe your eardrum pops or you swallow some saliva. All great signposts. That's what we're looking for. 9th tool, verbal processing. Out loud, not in your head, hence the verbal part. I know, we're nearly there. Whew! She said 10, but didn't know how long it would take. Saying what's happening out loud is literally verbal processing. Not journaling, not texting someone, not composing a perfectly articulate explanation in the letter form to then be burnt. Just talking. It can be to yourself. It can be to a voice note. It can be to a trusted person. It can be to your dog on a walk. When you name what's happening, we activate the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, which creates distance from the purely reactive response. That is neuroscience, okay? Affect labeling reduces amygdala activation, or name it to tame it is essentially the phrase that I know is everywhere and kind of cliche, but every cliche comes from something, right? Again, great for those who process externally, like your girl, or I wouldn't have a podcast, which many ADHD brains do. If you ever noticed you're talking through something out loud, helps you think. This is why do it more, but maybe not in a co-working space or a cafe. It might be something like, okay, so I just got off that call with a new professional connection, and although I got a little tongue-tied at the start, I do think it ended up really well. I think I expressed myself with confidence and yada, 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 right? That it could be like that. It doesn't have to be eloquent. It just has to be out loud and therefore out of your mind. You might feel less like you're being chased by the thought. So, some clarity may show up. Emotion may get smaller once it has a name. Might also be a nice ritual before bed if you find you have endless thoughts as you're trying to get to sleep. Those are some good ones. All right, final tool, and I may have to move because this is crazy. Box breathing is our final tool, okay? Inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling, inhale, hold, exhale, hold for 4 seconds each. Oh, I need some shade up in here. This is how we can regulate ourselves. Disregard me. I'm not going to edit any of this out because you know me. We're just going to go for it. Giving your body something consistent to follow, which is especially useful when your thoughts are anything but consistent. I think if this works well for Navy SEALs, this breathing pattern is in their literal training, it may work for little old us. This is the one to use when you can't tell whether you're more flooded or more shut down. Honestly, you're uncertain. You might be just in like freeze, functional freeze. So it'll be like this. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale and repeat the process. This is a beautiful daily practice to do at any time, all the time. Multiple inputs work really well. Notice when your heart rate settles, the loop in your head begins to slow, possibly feeling more like you're in the driver's seat. Okay. We did it. Those are my top 10, let's say. There are so many more, but here's what I would invite you to do with all this. Because the worst thing you could do is watch or listen and feel informed and do absolutely nothing, right? In there, however, love being informed and doing nothing. Total vibe. Feel it. Don't want that to happen here, though. Doesn't actually help. I invite you to actually sort these into categories that make sense for your nervous system specifically. Not mine, not everybody's, your own. Think about what state you're usually in. Are you often more flooded, can't stop thinking, up here end? Or more of the checked out, dissociated, can't really start anything end? Or do you ping pong? Most of us ping pong. Knowing this can help shape which tools become your go-tos. Thinking about where you are when you need them. Are you typically at your desk? Are you in the car? In a meeting? Some of these you can do like invisibly, peripheral vision, box breathing, jaw release. Some need a little privacy, shaking, full body movement. Build them accordingly and notice which ones your body actually responds to, not which ones sound most impressive or scientific, right? The tool that works for you is the one that works for you, period. Some people find breath work incredibly grounding. Others find it activating, especially early on. Some people need to move, some need sound, some need darkness, stillness. You are allowed to have different tools for different states and different contexts because, shocker, you are dynamic. You do not need one perfect universal answer. That's why we have a resilience toolkit. How perfect of a segue. I have a 70-page resilience workbook called the Res Kit. It's built for this purpose. It's $27. It's in the description. It'll give you somewhere to put all of this rather than just letting it float around your head as things you watched someone do on the internet that one time. It also has like way more tools for your own toolkit, and I highly recommend grabbing it, printing it out, having it next to your bed, for example, putting it somewhere physical otherwise, which can be really helpful on your desk, something like that. Out of sight is out of mind, especially for our brains, so keep it in sight. A few people that I genuinely follow and learn from in this space will also be linked in the description. We don't have a collaboration of any kind, but I just love their work. Santi from Somatic Energy Alignment, he does beautifully accessible somatic work. I was trained by him, so I guess I would name that. The Workout Witch, who brings movement and nervous system work together in a way that actually makes a lot of sense for neurodiverse bodies, bodies that have experienced trauma, female bodies. And Dr. Sharina for a more clinical grounding, if that's your thing. She does spinal network. But she has a lot of other nervous system information. So not sponsorships, just people doing good work whom I choose to stand alongside. The whole point of this month, and I want to say this clearly before you move on, is not to give you more information about your nervous system. You know a lot about your nervous system, or you can easily find it, right? The internet, hello. The point is to start you on actually trusting it. My man always comes home when I'm doing this. Trusting that when it signals something, the signal is worth responding to, and that you, not a diagnosis, not a label, you are not the one who gets to figure out what you are the one that gets to figure out what it needs. You have more capacity and autonomy than you believe. You've just been working without tools. The back door is open. Now you have some. Utilize them. Next week, we move into month 2. We're going to get into something that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, in ADHD and nervous system spaces. Distrust in the self. The patterns that make it hard to rely on people. The patterns that have us feeling like we have to do everything ourselves. It will be shadow work heavy. Prepare. Until then,